Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpod. You're listening to the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, Season 15, Episode 19, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Power and Indiana Lake County Studios. Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Here
Hey,
we are.
We have Hammond's Deputy Fire Chief in the studio this morning, Dave Weisz.
I feel safer. Just having a firefighter
4th
around.
of July is coming upon us, so, we want the Deputy Fire Chief in here so we can talk a little fireworks safety and shenanigans. Hey, Dave, what's going on?
Thanks for having me. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
My man.
Chief.
Nice. Linz, good to see you, babe.
What's up?
Jay Vez.
Hey, babe.
Nice to see you guys.
Ew.
Thanks. So we
knew it.
have an action-packed episode for you today. We went a lot of videos because we got the chief in here. We want the chief to tell us what is safe.
I mean, I think videos tell the story a lot better.
Well, like the good thing about TikTok is we can learn from other people's mishaps.
That is true.
Right.
That's true. All of us currently have 10 fingers,
Currently,
which is a good thing.
Let's try to keep it that way, all
I
right?
am. There
this
is
is
no
probably
doubt.
the week where some people will be celebrating with fewer fingers.
Yeah,
so.
it's July 1st. It's officially the anniversary of the last time you had 10 fingers if you
Okay.
don't do things right, you know?
Wow.
All right, so let's do things right. So,
Can I ask Dave a couple early questions? Like,
Sure.
how long have you been a firefighter?
Been firefighter in Hammond 19 years now.
Holy cow! And you're
Yeah.
deputy chief.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you had that firefighter mustache?
I think it was, 3 months ago you told me I was allowed to keep it? And then,
Did that come with the job? Like you made chief, and then you're like, okay, I got to grow one of those mustaches now, right?
well, they say I have like a face for radio, so I needed something to make it look better, so I went with a mustache. I don't know if it was right.
It looks
but
great.
we'll see.
It looks very.
Looks very
fire-chief.
firefighter-ish.
It does.
Yeah, it's the
Like,
command stash.
It's
Yeah.
the
Command stash.
It's like
He's going to get a lot of shit
Where's
back
Bernie's?
in the station, I think.
I don't see Bernie's damn command
Yeah,
stash.
Bernie doesn't have a command
He's got
stash.
a clean face. How am I
He
supposed to
does.
take him seriously?
Well, he can skip shaving for 5 minutes and he'll have one.
Yeah, that's true.
That
That's
like
true.
thick Italian
He's got
hair.
that
you know?
Italian
He's one of those hairy guys.
All
It's
right.
deceptive, though. It makes him look like really approachable, and then,
Then he
Wait,
sneaks
the
up.
mustache
And
or
then
the
he
no
strikes.
mustache?
The no mustache.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Dave does not look approachable with a mustache?
Scaring me.
He's
I
scared.
feel
Wow.
unsafe.
They were
Well,
talking
sorry.
before the show. There's a natural affinity between nurses and firefighters.
Oh,
I've
that's
noticed
right,
that.
true.
They were talking.
Chit-chatting.
They were talking. Talking turkey before we got on the
Yeah.
air.
Okay. No, yeah.
Emergency room.
I like firefighters, man.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk
Everybody
about that.
does.
Like,
Everybody likes firefighters.
why are you taking out your frustrations on firefighters? They always show up, they do good, and then they leave.
I know.
You're
That's
talking about Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
get to
Oh,
that.
And
yeah,
that
we
got
got-
me real
That's
heated.
scary.
Oh no,
Scary.
that's definitely in the first segment. We're gonna challenge Dave with a couple topics here. But Dave, first before you became chief, you were a nurse also, right?
Yeah, I was a pediatric nurse. I did pediatric oncology for a few years, and then when I got promoted at the fire department, went to straight days. It just wasn't feasible anymore.
Oh,
to do
so
it
when
with-
you were a firefighter,
Yeah.
and you had 1 day on, 2 days off. On your 2 days off, you were working as a nurse.
yeah,
on the side.
exactly.
Wow.
Like, I got my degree while I was working on the fire department with the tuition assistance program through the city,
Awesome.
and
That is-
with help of that, and my mom, they helped me get through it, and my wife at the time, and
No wonder I
became a
picked you
nurse.
for deputy chief. It's like that's impressive, man.
You know, one of the things I love about living in the city of Hammond is a professional fire department. You know, we've got, and same thing goes for the fact that we've got EMTs and paramedics on our ambulances, right? So it's like we have you guys coming to the house when we need you.
I'll tell you what, I was a volunteer before I came on Hammond full time. And what really was a stark contrast for me was that first fire. And we go in and all of a sudden I'm tripping on guys. There's people everywhere. Everybody's doing their job as a volunteer. The rural community I was in, you never knew when help was coming. You could be there
That's-
by yourself for a very long time.
That's
and
so crazy and true.
Yeah.
Like you'll see, we have towns close to us that don't have professional fire departments, and they have multi-million-dollar homes and CEOs that live there. CEOs that are at the age where it's, you're getting to the age where things could happen. You could have heart attacks and things like that. And you're literally relying on, prompt ambulance to come out there and save your life instead of somebody like you that worked as a nurse and, and as a firefighter, trained paramedic.
Yeah.
It's like we could have these types of people showing up in the city of Hammond or in our neighboring towns have, somebody making $10 an hour.
It
Yeah.
was like that when I was working for Lake County Police Department. Also, it's like they always attended to all the unincorporated areas,
Mm-hmm.
and you never really knew like.
How long?
Yeah,
or
you got to
who,
call. You
or-
call
Yeah.
in because of an armed robbery or a break-in or something. You didn't know when somebody was going to show up.
Agree.
It's whenever they're available, and it could be like 45 minutes because
Yeah.
they're not regularly patrolling out there.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we're
have
lucky.
where I, God forbid something ever happens to me in my house. I have firefighters right down the street from my house 24/7, even on Christmas. If it was midnight on Christmas Eve, they'd be at my house within 3 minutes.
And by that, you mean your station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something reassuring about that.
I agree.
You know?
I mean, that's one thing about living in the city.
Yeah. I don't understand how towns could make that decision. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, because literally, I know, one of my neighboring towns has CEOs galore living there, doctors. And then it's like, and you have a heart attack or, God forbid, a fire or something like that, and your whole place burns down. It's like, I don't get it. And like, I understand it's more expensive to have a fire department. I do get that, because I'm
very expensive.
It's very expensive. Our fire department's over $25 million a year, and so that's very expensive. I get it, but so is dying at a young age when it could have been totally preventable, right?
Well, and that's one of the things is a lot of departments around here are transitioning to that daytime staffing model because it's no longer sustainable. You've got great firefighters on these volunteer departments that are trying to overcome overwhelming odds. Daytime staffing is the biggest problem. People are working Monday through Friday. So, nothing but love to my volunteer firefighter friends. But yeah, it's tough. As a municipality, you have to make that a priority. We're an insurance policy. Yep. Nobody really wants to pay for us until they need us. And then
insurance
it's like, where were you? Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's talk about fireworks safety because that's coming up this week. It's an important topic.
Could I remind everybody about Lockpod Fan Appreciation Night first?
Please
and
do.
Then we're definitely, I just want to remind everybody that Lockpod Listener Appreciation Night, Left of Center Podcast is throwing a party just for you. Come hang out with Mayor Tom and Kevin and the whole Lockpod crew on Friday, July 11th at Oilman Park in Whiting, Indiana for a night of baseball, laughs, and cold beers. We're bringing the Lockpod t-shirts, the good vibes, and a few surprises. All we need is you on the list. If you were interested in Lockpod Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, July 11th, email steve@lockpod.com. That's steve@lockpod.com to save your spot. Let's make this a night to remember Lockpod style.
Yeah, show up. If you're listening on chat, please show up. If you're listening on later than on Apple or on Stitcher or whatever else we have. It's iHeartRadio.
Like, this is a small ass baseball stadium. Like, if we walk in there and it's just like all of us, and then like the whole stadium is cavernous and empty, like I think it's time to quit Lockpod. The very next our 500th episode.
Lockpod.com. Show up. We want to see you. By the way, it's free. Come on out. We'll have food tickets, drink tickets.
What happens if we get over 50 people? Then Smith Sursick has kindly agreed to pay for everybody's ticket.
Well, you know the owner of the Oilman. I think you'll
really?
let us in.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we'll deal with that problem. When we
July 11th, be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Last time they let us on the field, in the dugouts, everything.
Tom threw a strike.
I threw a couple pitches.
Yeah, show up.
Yeah. So anyway, hey Dave, let's talk about. So realistic. I mean, you're in here. Obviously, we're always a little funny about things on Lockpod, but this is a week. This is why I thought bringing you in here is such a good move because I know for a fact the Hammond firefighters that work during these next 2 weeks are going to be extremely busy. True?
Oh, yeah, 100%. This is the busy season.
So, like, do you get sleep on nights like this if you're a typical firefighter, or you're just constantly waking up going to the next call?
No, this especially, like, starting probably Thursday evening, they will be running all night, every night, through the holiday, probably a few days afterwards. Historically, extremely busy time of year. Everybody's up and moving. I know Chief Griszolia and myself will be out on calls probably all weekend.
And what's your typical? So, the worst, you'll get garage fires, stuff like that from the falling embers?
Yeah, garage fire, house fires. I think it was about 5 years ago was probably one of the worst we had. I think that night, the rig I was on, we ran about 16 calls. 4 were working structure fires. Everything was fireworks related all night. And the entire city, we were just going from fire to fire to fire all night long.
What's your personal feeling on fireworks?
Not a big fan. It's one of those things. Everybody treats it like it's this.
Is it because you're a firefighter, or?
Yeah, it's because I'm a firefighter. They're fun. They're pretty to look at, but I've seen people do too many stupid things. It's, July 1st, the anniversary of having all 10 fingers for the last time,
Right.
For a lot of people, unfortunately.
I used to have a big display in my house, right, Linz? Like when Linz was growing up.
That was the best.
I would go to town, man.
Yeah.
I would have, honestly, I'd spend money. All my neighbors would come over. It was a big thing for 10 years straight where I would just go out there and blow fireworks off, and I'd be out there in my damn bare feet, popping things up, just rigging them up.
I was usually at the house telling Tom, be careful.
Yeah, but like,
I was like, man, you better be careful.
Because these things, the ones we were shooting off are like industrial size.
They're huge. They're like mortars.
I was shooting them off, and then one year, I remember the stuff I was shooting off. I was like, damn, man. And I started getting more formal as the years went on because it was like, dude, this stuff we're playing with is the real deal, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember one year I forgot what I was shooting off. It was a cake, right? And then the next day in the newspaper, I read how somebody was shooting off the exact same cake I had, and they lit it, and it wasn't going off. And these things are like $100 each, or $70 for one. And if you light it and it doesn't go off, you just lost $70, right? So natural instinct, when you light it and it doesn't go off, this dude's like, what the fuck, right? And he pops his head over it to take a look at it, and as soon as he does it, it blows his freaking head off.
Yeah, it was bad.
In front of his entire family. And that was it for me, man.
Happy 4th of July.
That was like, can you imagine that, by the way? Your family, you're like, remember that your dad blew his head off in front of the whole family and with the mortar?
Doesn't make for a future happy 4th of July.
That was the last time I had a fireworks display. I was done after that. I'm like, dude, this is like, why am I teaching my kids something that's dangerous like this, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watching them. I love going to the event at Wolf Lake Pavilion. I'll be there on the 3rd, like I always am. But I have no desire, light them off anymore. I mean, obviously, when I was a kid and teenager, you're always like, oh, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You do it, but
it's just scary, man.
It's like one of those risk-reward things. Like, I'll go watch
Leave it to the experts, right?
That's right. Leave it to the experts.
Yeah, they cost a lot of money, and the chance of injury is pretty high. And everybody tries to do everything to the best of their ability, but a lot of times they'll shoot off like one of those bottle rockets. Wind will catch it, goes the other way. Next thing you know, your garage is on fire.
Yeah.
it happens that
we're
fast.
also mixing in the fact that everyone's probably drinking who's
True.
over the age of 21.
Add that in.
Exactly.
There's
Add that
no
in.
smart choices made when you've got 5 beers in
Not
you.
many.
So.
Right.
Let's look at some of these stats. Like, this is just some stuff Dave provided to us, and Chief Dave said this is just something he showed up and that he sent to us. 6,400 injuries are treated at hospitals June 16th to July 16th, and between males and females, 2/3 of all fireworks injuries are men.
And the 1/3 of women that are injured, it was probably because men probably pointed
screwed up. Right.
It's like
Definitely.
100% of injuries are related to men,
Related to
right? The women got hurt as a result of men's actions, I'm sure.
And this is
Easy.
sad. 3 in 10 injuries are to children younger than 15.
And those are probably because, like, the thing, Dave, is this true? Like, the audience injuries, a lot of this is like, I may be over here shooting off fireworks, and then I screw up shooting off fireworks, and then it goes towards the audience.
Well, yeah, or like how many people they go to fire off a mortar and they run away because they've seen somebody get their head blown off by it, and they trip over and it shoots it right into the audience.
Right.
Or kids, right? They see that their parents have a bunch of fireworks in the garage. They grab some and go try to do it with their friends or screw around with it, and they're not, not experienced. They don't know how to deal with like matches and stuff like that. So, and then here, burns account for 42% of the injuries, which I think that's a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. 800 firecracker injuries, 700 sparkler injuries, and 500 rocket injuries.
Sparkler
Those things
injuries.
are a little spicy.
Yeah,
they're
they
so
burn,
hot.
They burn
It's
very
like a
hot.
red hot iron when it's done, right?
Yeah.
I love sparklers.
Rockets getting fired the wrong
Sneaks and
direction.
sparklers.
Start using
Firecrackers.
Breaking
snakes.
John's heart
When I
right
was a
now.
kid, we used to play firecrackers all the time, and I remember a couple blowing up in my hand.
yeah.
And it hurt. It
Yep.
wouldn't, but firecrackers aren't going to take your fingers
No.
off. But it
No,
would
not one.
It would ring your ears, and it definitely would hurt your fingers. You know.
You're talking about the little firecrackers.
Yeah,
These
firecrackers,
ones
Not the M80s.
Firecrackers. Yeah, firecrackers are the little red ones, like the cat, whatever they are, right?
Right, black cat.
Black
Black
cat,
cats,
right? Right.
Black
but like,
cats, yeah.
but like the.
Or like the quarter sticks or the half sticks or like
no.
those.
Oh,
are
my
the,
Lord,
the-
yeah.
There's nothing.
Insane.
Those are so annoying.
Yes.
Dude, I hate it when
Yes.
they like those. Or the ones that they shoot them off. See, like where we live, America, America is listening right now. Where we live, everything you could buy is legal, except for weed, basically, right? But like any
It's
type
just
of
so
firework,
backwards.
you could imagine.
You want it? Come get
You
it.
could buy it in Indiana. So like every swinging dick in the Midwest drives to Indiana to buy their fireworks.
Because we are
And-
right on the state line.
Yeah, so and then they bring it back home, Crossroads of America. So we supply fireworks to the entire Midwest, but it's the only place it's legal is right here, basically.
And 41% of injuries to the head area. That's scary. And 35% to hands and fingers. So again, we're talking about
Look at this.
pretty critical.
Is this real?
yeah.
These are
Those are
hands.
real.
I don't think
These
the hands are
were
supposed
hands.
to.
These were hands.
They're not supposed
Yeah.
to look like that. I take it, correct?
No, they're not. They weren't supposed to look like this, but separated all the way down. Yeah, this is, I think, from American Society of Orthopedic Surgeons, something like that. It's
They do like a
this is
fireworks safety.
actual.
Dude,
Yeah, this
look
is
at the
actual
one.
X-rays.
The fingers are like in different directions. Like
This
the
one?
doctor to take that X-ray is just like picking up his fingers and putting it on the X-ray tray.
That's what I was
It's
thinking.
like it's not even connected.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna put these in here so people realize.
I'm going to use
make
this
a
for a
great
fireworks
post.
safety ad.
Yeah. He's like, could you give me those fingers over there? I want to put them over
Well,
here.
let me
Well,
reset them as a
that's-
peace sign right
Well,
here.
that's how you do it, though. Like this is how the orthopedic
I know,
surgeon
Liz.
knows how to like wear. Like,
But
what
it's not
equipment
connected
they
to the
need.
hand. He just like put them on like
This
French
one.
fries.
Look at this
Yeah.
one. Like what's
Those
this
are like
right
French
here?
fries. You just like put them on the plate.
Yep.
Well, that one's probably hanging by the skin if I had to
Oh,
guess.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
You
it
got
is.
2 medical professionals
Yeah.
in
I
the
don't
studio.
like-
We're gonna ruin all your fun.
Yeah, breakfast. Anybody?
That one I bet looked gnarly.
This one.
I don't even know what
That
that is.
There's nothing left.
That's
All
yeah.
of them
It's a-
do.
It's basically a palm with
Yeah.
nothing around it.
Oh
right?
God! Just looking at those makes it's just.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
man.
Makes
Yeah,
for
I'm
a
not
really
scary.
weird high five afterwards. Just saying.
Yeah, you go with the high elbow.
The high three.
The high elbow.
Let's watch a
That's
couple
what
videos.
that's what they make chest thumping for.
Yes.
You know.
When you, this is a classic. If
It's
you've been
lighten the mood.
around,
What's this one?
If you've been around,
Okay, so
TikTok
hold it.
for the
Let me
last 10
describe
years,
it. So we have a person in a wheelchair that's lighting a
named Terry. That
His
should give
name
you a
is
heads
Terry.
up.
So Terry is lighting. It's like a mortar, and he's in a wheelchair right next to it.
No,
so
it's
like,
a fountain.
okay,
Get
it's a
it right,
fountain.
Dad.
But like, if you're in a wheelchair, you should make sure that that sucker's going to get you out of danger if you're going to be lighting fireworks.
You need
Oh,
to have
yeah,
an
for
escape.
sure.
And you need to have an
Chief
escape
Dave?
plan.
Escape plan.
Escape
Exactly,
plan.
like
So
Kevin
if you're in a
said.
wheelchair, Chief Dave says have an escape plan. And this one, Terry does not have an escape plan. He wasn't thinking ahead. He was thinking light it. He wasn't thinking about the most important part, which is get the fuck out of there, Terry. Okay.
This is great.
Failure to put it in reverse.
Bag up, bag up. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
So inappropriate.
I love that.
Poor
That-
Terry.
and the guy,
Put it
the
in
guy
reverse,
commentating.
Terry.
Oh Lord!
John, play the rest because this guy's laugh is so classic. The last 5 seconds of this. So
Oh,
I
my
saw
God.
a follow up of this of an interview with Terry afterwards, and he said, and by the way, he had a T-shirt on that said "I'm back up Terry," which I thought was great.
Well, they go into parades and stuff
Yes.
too.
Bag
And
up,
so
bag.
he said that what had happened was he had this old wheelchair that the reverse didn't work that day or whatever, it didn't work. And so as a result of this, Terry got a new donated wheelchair.
That's
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Positive outcome.
Yes,
Keep
That is a
helping
good
people,
outcome.
right?
And Terry was not hurt.
And now he can put it in reverse whenever he wants.
Exactly. Back it up, Terry.
Tom, you want to introduce this one?
this is a car in Florida driving into, like in a car accident,
Yes.
driving into a fireworks stand. And the resulting firework explosion was pretty spectacular. Let's check this out.
Oh my gosh, this car just freaking drove into the fireworks place. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
The smoke's rising.
Dude, it is like the biggest fireworks display you've ever seen.
Is that going to concern you as a firefighter, Dave?
Yeah, that's a bad day right there. I'm
So,
telling
Dave, if you guys face a fire like that,
Look at that.
it's like,
You got to wait until it's done, right?
Holy
yeah,
cow.
you just let those
Oh.
burn out.
you.
right?
Well, we'll start putting water on it. We start from a distance, though. We have the deck guns on there and everything. We'll start hitting
And
it
you just stay
but-
from way back.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like
You're not
wearing all
going
your
in
safety
on
equipment.
something
No,
like
we're not
that.
going
That
in.
structure
until
is
we
not
get it
being
knocked
saved.
down. I don't know. It depends if there's a roof left or not when it's done
Wow.
blowing up.
There's no way they could save that, right, Dave?
No, probably not. That,
I mean, that's
that thing's rocking
fully,
in there.
fully engulfed like
How
a,
many fire engines and trucks do you need for that type of
like all four
fire?
sides.
Yes.
all 4 sides?
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. No, like literally, we'll bring in everything you can.
Would you be able to
It's
put something out that like that pretty easily with all four sides covered and just dumping water on it? It would get it down.
I don't know about easily, but we're going to get it done. I
Right.
mean, if that's the awesome thing in Hammond is we got a very fast response time, so we'll get a lot of rigs there really, really
Look
quick
at that.
and get a lot of water on.
I mean,
it
is
real
it,
fast.
awesome right
is
here.
Dave, is one of your like when you see something like this, is it okay? How do we
Spectacular.
protect the rest of the neighborhood?
Yeah, it's we pull up
Look
on
It's
at
like a
that. Oh
mushroom
my
cloud.
exposures,
It's like
yeah.
a mushroom cloud, dude.
Fireworks show.
It's like Hiroshima cloud, man. It's incredible.
It's a great ad for Phantom. Fireworks get your fireworks.
We have those shops in Hammond.
We've got a
It's
lot of
so
them.
Disturbing. We
fire-
have so many of these shops in Hammond.
Yeah, it's a fire sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, yes.
That's good. I like it. Hey, Hammond Fire Department did a fireworks safety video last year. It got thousands and thousands of views. You guys mind booting that up again real quick? Like,
You guys
Dave,
should-
did you have anything to do with this, Dave?
We were helping there. Chief Grisolia put out the directive, like we want to be more proactive, outreach to the community. So this was one of one of his things, and him and I worked together like we always do on pretty much every project, and came up with this one.
And this is a TikTok, and everybody loves firefighters on TikTok, so it just got millions of views. You guys got tons of new fans, so let's take a look at it.
Never light fireworks indoors.
That's good advice.
Remember, never put your face on the firework. Always light it an arm distance away. And when the fuse is lit, put it in reverse, Terry.
I didn't even get that.
No one! Don't worry, little Zach. You're doing everything right. You're just forgetting your water hose and your bucket of water. If it doesn't light, let it set for about 5 to 10 minutes before you place it in the water. From the Hammond Fire Department family to yours, I want to wish you a happy and safe 4th of July. Always remember, fireworks safety is key. For more information, visit gohammond.com for more fireworks safety tips.
That's a good video.
Nice and safe. I assume that was a rookie that had to, put his head over the fireworks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he was a great sport with all of it. So then he coined the phrase "Little Zacky" afterwards. That's what everybody calls him.
Is that stuck?
Oh yeah, it's stuck.
I didn't even get they put it in reverse, Terry, when I first saw it. 'Cause that's the first time I've seen the video. Now look at you,
famous.
like bringing me into modern culture,
Yes,
Kevin.
I am trying, kicking and screaming. Are you guys gonna? You guys got to make sure that you repost that.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
We have some ripped fire. I'm gonna zoom in on this. Look at, is he a part-time wrestler too? And he's not.
The firefighters.
What's his name in the red?
His name's Rob Detterline.
The fire.
Whoa.
The
Dude, there's a
firefighter.
reason why they always win the
Yes,
yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Holy.
Like when they do the boxing matches, or when we do like City Olympics, firefighters always win.
Like that's the kind of guy that will have no trouble carrying me out of my house if my house
Is
is
this
burning
like
down.
deep
You almost
inside? I
want
think
him.
Kevin wants him to be carried
Yeah.
out.
Kevin wants to be carried
Rob, would you
away.
carry Kevin out of the studio, please? That would make his day.
Well, I mean, I would not mind if
That
Rob
would be
had-
a great. That would be so funny.
God.
Rob comes in here and carries you out of the studio. That'd be
We
so-
could arrange it.
Can we
yeah.
set that up?
We could
That would have been
definitely arrange
perfect.
it, yeah.
Rob, would you please carry Kevin out of the
He
studio?
just
Fireman
shows up
carry
here at
him.
the studio.
Rob, the show ends in 30 minutes. Can you get up here? It would be a great ending carrying
That'd
Kevin.
be so funny.
Can you text
Oh,
Rob,
boy.
get him up here?
Is it like a over the shoulder carry, or is he carry him like a loving embrace? Like
Yes, I think it's the loving.
Either way,
Yeah.
I'm picturing like ending scene of Bodyguard right now. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
God. Well, if anybody had to carry me out of a fire, I wouldn't mind if it was Rob. I mean, he's going to save us.
Kevin's like, at least he's cute, also, right, Kev?
Yeah.
Kevin's feeling
Hopefully
a
that
little
never has to
high this
happen.
morning. All right.
Hey, so we.
He shrugged his shoulders.
It's like, I mean, I'm just thinking
mean,
to
if you're
myself.
getting carried
if
out
I've
by
got
a fireman-
fire in
I
my
can
house,
appreciate
if
it.
I got a
Make
fire
him
in my
cute.
house, why?
If you're gonna get carried out by a fireman, make him a cute one, right, Kev?
I just want to be capable. I mean, I'm 210 pounds.
Capable and cute.
Kevin's gonna start a fire at his house. Be like, "There's a
Rob,
fire. Is Rob
wait,
available?"
Rob,
What
there's a
shift
fire
is
in
Rob
my kitchen.
working? Hey, man. I mean, I'm
Rob is
I'm
like,
proud of
God
our
damn it, why'd you say
firefighters.
my name on the show?
I'm proud of our firefighters.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, on a more serious note, though,
Oh.
I know, like, we are talking, fire safety. We're talking 4th of July. Also, this is fire season. It's something, there was never such thing as a fire season when I was a kid, but now there's fire season out west. And firefighters out west are running into the mountains to tackle blazes that are in very remote places, which is extremely dangerous, extremely physically challenging. And then to add to it, we also have these idiots with guns
Psychopaths.
that also want to kill people. And in Idaho, or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene. John
Coeur
and I
d'Alene.
both been there.
Yeah.
In Coeur d'Alene, a man who started a wildfire and then fatally shot 2 firefighters and wounded another in northern Idaho was a 20-year-old transient who attacked the first responders after they asked him to move his vehicle, the sheriff said Monday.
Yeah, he set the fire.
Yeah.
So
And then
he
laid
just-
in
laid in
wait.
wait. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you've got, obviously wildfires are a big deal out west. When you hear there's a wildfire, everybody responds. And these guys come up there, they ask the guy to move his car, and next thing you know, they're under fire, which is crazy, right? I mean, as a firefighter.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys go into dangerous situations, right?
We have.
It's
In,
one-
in Hammond, you guys have. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
interrupt you.
no, you're fine. We've had it happen before. I remember, I think it was in Hessville that occurred a few years ago, and our firefighters
right.
had to take shelter because
What?
like one of the rounds hit the tire
that.
next
Right.
to them and stuff like
And
that.
then you
It's-
guys have been physically attacked too before.
yeah.
With, like punched, pushed, threatened.
Unfortunately, it's like normalized, and it's a very sad thing to say that there's a whole epidemic of responder violence that's out there because it's like expected. It happens with nurses too. It's
I mean, you guys are there to help.
Yeah.
I don't get that attitude. I don't understand that.
it's if somebody's doing something and they're out of their head, somehow it's become acceptable for them to lash out at you, and it's never acceptable. Responder
Has
violence
anything
is
like that
never
ever
okay.
happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into a few
As a
fisticuffs,
paramedic.
if you will,
As a paramedic.
on the ambulance back when I was working
Because they
there,
were just
so-
out of it. They didn't know.
Yeah,
if
they're out of it. They don't know, and then you have some
Drugs,
people
alcohol.
who are out of it, and they just use an excuse to make bad behavior decisions and start lashing out, and they just get into the drama.
Especially if
I
you're
think.
like Narcanning somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
Oof.
and they don't
That
want
is
to. They don't want to let go of the high.
That's so funny,
No.
Lindsay. I've heard that from the officers also. They say that the first thing that they do when you save their
Is
life
start throwing
is they start
punches.
kicking. They're trying to
Oh,
kick your
yeah.
ass as soon as
Yeah.
they come out of it.
Well, that's one of the things we learned. Like early in the Narcan days, we'd like push it in really fast, and then bam, they come out, and it was like you ruined their best high ever. They got super violent.
Yeah.
Now we try to push it a little bit slower. It seems to help things, but we
What
were
do you mean push
prepared.
it? Like literally, like
You
Is
literally push it
Narcan's a
slower.
liquid?
Yeah, it's a liquid,
Well,
and
it
it's
goes in the
we'll
s-
give
in
it
the s-
IV.
in the-
so a
or
lot of the
IV,
time.
yeah, but
well, the
intranasal one.
Yeah, the intranasal one's like a whole lot better. Back in the day, it was IV was the only way we were
Oh,
giving
wow.
it.
So you would like it
So-
was sort of like what's that movie with where they shove it in the heart? Pulp Fiction.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Was
epi.
it sort of like that where they
Yeah.
put it in the heart and then they just jab it in?
No, so it just goes in your vein, and then
You don't
they
do it
put
in the
in
heart?
there. No.
Pretty dramatic.
Really?
Yeah.
That was pretty dramatic.
Yeah,
It
no.
like made an impact.
I was thinking you could just stab it anywhere, like in the movies. That's not the case.
No,
Well-
I don't believe it's an IM.
Well,
drug.
most of the time that you're gonna get Narcan, even in a nursing situation where I work, if we have Narcan, it's intranasal,
yeah, it's
which
Then
It's
it's
a lot
it's been
easier.
a while since they've done it IV, right? It's,
yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty much all they're doing. It's been a few years since I've been on the ambulance.
What does that
so
mean though?
I'm
Intranasal. They
dating
just
myself.
they spray it like a spray in your neck.
Yeah, there's like a little cone. It goes right
Uh-huh.
up in the nose.
Sort of
and you
just like
spray
a-
it, turns
and it
into mist,
aerosolizes the
and-
That's
liquid.
amazing.
And it's instant.
It's not instant. It takes a second, but it's pretty quick. It'll bring them right back out.
What happens if you use Narcan and it doesn't? They don't respond to it.
Then we're moving on to other things because Narcan only responds to certain drugs and just the opioid receptors. So if they're not responding to that, everybody thinks like Narcan is this one-stop shop to fix everything. But if it's not an opioid overdose, then now we're moving on to other stuff. We're looking at resuscitative efforts and all that. Just
So is
depending on what we
Narcan
have.
dangerous just in itself? Like if I just a firefighter is like, oh, I think you need Narcan, and they spray it in me, and I'm not on drugs.
No, it's
problem,
pretty.
right?
It's pretty innocuous. It
Yeah,
just
sure.
blocks those receptors,
Got
so
it.
that way you don't.
So there's no
actually get the
danger of like
effects.
getting it administered when you're not.
No,
on
so
drugs.
you'll see it'll happen on occasion. Like a diabetic who we don't know that they're diabetic will wind up getting Narcan because they're unconscious. And,
But that's not
that's the
dangerous.
easy-
Yeah, you don't know.
You're not damaging them at all. It just
good to
blocks the
know.
receptors. It's temporary. It'll come off. That's the other thing is people who get like super high and like stop breathing, and we give them the Narcan. They really need to be transported afterwards because it has a half-life. It'll wear off, and that high will come back.
Wow. I wanted to finish up that Coeur d'Alene story just real quick, saying that obviously you are concerned when you hear about firefighters passing away, and I don't want to forget just to mention that 2 firefighters did die. They were shot and killed. They were all fathers, parents, sons, whatever, and they're dead now. And then there's also a guy that's in critical condition, just because they went to respond to a fire like they're supposed to do. So obviously we want to make sure that we mention that. And
Very
this psychopath decided to kill himself on the side of the mountain afterwards. So that's what we got out in Coeur d'Alene.
But like, why are we
Sad.
going after firefighters, man? Like they show up, they do good.
Why are we going after
Anybody? Why are we going after police officers? Why are we going after
Politicians?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
if the
politicians,
firefighters
right?
is
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
relevant.
everybody's target right now. It's like firefighters, nurses, politicians.
Did you see? There was recently. I don't remember where it was. I think it was Massachusetts. That there was an ER tech got shot.
Well, you hear about people getting shot at hospitals all the time.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's insane.
Yeah.
People just, and it's always in the ER usually because that's where you can get weapons in the easiest.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh,
just
yeah.
like usually enter the
That's
front
true.
door and go up. It's
that's true because you're coming in on
It's a
uncontrolled
dangerous
sort of
job.
right. Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Well, hey, you're running into drones recently. We're going to go there in the second segment. You have any any drones like interfering with your guys' jobs, anything like that?
No, actually, drones are really helpful with our jobs. We had a boat go down this weekend in Lake Michigan, and a cop showed up with a drone and was able to give us a bird's eye view of everything that was going on.
An official drone.
An official drone. Unofficial drones, they can cause problems. Especially.
Have you had any unofficial drone problems?
I have not as of yet.
Good.
I have a feeling that might start changing in the future. That's sort of where we're going with this next segment. It was a 60 Minutes segment this week too, so we're right on the news. So, but Chief Weisz, I want to say thank you very much for your first appearance on Lockpod. I think it was highly successful. You did a great job. I know the audience appreciates it. And is there one last message you want to let the audience know before 4th of July?
Yeah, I mean, treat it like your mom's watching. Real simple. Like, if you wouldn't do it in front of your mom, don't do it. That's the basic common sense approach to everything.
It's wonderful advice.
And if you have any questions, go to gohammond.com. Fire Chief Grisolia puts out a fireworks safety sheet that's on there. It's the laws, the rules, and some safety points. Also follow us on Facebook. Fire Chief will make sure we have stuff going out coming up to the 4th of July holiday to help you remember what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
It's good to see you.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming to
Thanks
Lockpod.
for having me.
That's
Appreciate
Dave Weisz.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Hammond, Deputy Fire Chief. Great job. Great
Awesome.
episode. So let's go ahead and move on to
Be
some
safe
ads.
this
And then
July 4th.
we come back. We want to hear from you. Do you think drones are the next big domestic threat? Or is this just another overhyped panic? And who do you trust to protect the skies? That's sort of where we're going when we come back, because I have a feeling drones are going to change America, sort of like cell phones and everything. I have a feeling if you fast forwarded 10 years from now, there's going to be a lot more things flying through our skies. So anyway, let's start off with Powering Indiana Lake County, our premier and studio sponsor. Powering Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Powering Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes alike. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Powering Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job and creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
The Bug Guys Pest Control, firefighter-owned, pest-destroying professionals. We don't just fight fires, we fight bugs with bad attitudes. We bring justice to creepy crawlers. No contracts, no mercy, just bug-busting, home-protecting, creepy crawly-crushing service. Serving all of Northwest Indiana. Call Brian with a Y or Craig with an I today for your free estimate, 219-810-7481. The Bug Guys, making your house a no-fly zone since now.
I'm actually meeting Brian right after pod today. So use
right.
the Bug Guys. Yes. Byway Brewing. Looking for something to do this July 4th weekend? Look no further than Byway Brewing. To enjoy music all day long when more violins, less violence hits Byway Brewing this Saturday, July 5th from 2 to 10 p.m. Enjoy live music from Hammond Arts Academy, Caught on Klein, Trippin' Billies, and national touring artist The Trouble Notes. Great brews, powerful performances, and a message that matters, all for just $20. That's this July 5th. That's this Saturday from 2 to 10 p.m. at Byway. Grab your tickets now and be part of something unforgettable just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
July 4th weekend. So let's review this. So on Saturday, July 5th from 2 to 10 p.m., we have live music from the Hammond Arts Academy, Caught on Klein, Trippin' Billies, and the Trouble Notes. And it's a fundraiser.
Yeah, more violins, less violence. It's an anti-violence campaign that they're doing from 2 to 10 with this great music and obviously great food at Byway and great
Brewing.
beer.
Wow, that's
Check it
super
out.
cool. Trippin' Billies, man. That's
Awesome.
a big cover, man.
They're
That's
awesome.
Dave Matthews cover. So, all right, let's go. Ron J. Pressemer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Pressemer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Pressemer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Pressemer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
The Branding Room Floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning full-service marketing agency, The Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, The Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started and visit The Branding Room Floor today.
Calumet Brewing. Michelob Ultra, the official sponsor of the PGA, is a superior light beer with ultra smooth taste. This refreshingly crisp light lager has only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, making it the perfect beer on the golf course or at the 19th hole. Check out the new Ultra Zero with only 29 calories, making it the perfect zero alcohol beer for any time of the day. Head over to Cal Brew or the Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly. Thanks to our sponsors, including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
So there's certain stories out there that when you see them, you just know they're Lockpod stories, right? So we scour the internet, we scour far and wide to try to find these Lockpod stories, and we didn't have to go far to find our latest one. We went right to Paul Goddard and Region News Source, and he gave us Lockpod Gold.
Yes, and Paul's been a guest on here many times. Yeah, so it's good, and he's good at finding this stuff too.
This is a good one. So
what would you say about Winfield? We don't get much Winfield news, right?
We have a friend that's on the council in Winfield, Amy
who has
Blanker.
also been on the show.
I know. She's not going to be happy when we do a Winfield story that doesn't make her town look wonderfully. But this is too good to pass up.
It's too good to be true. It's too good to pass up, Councilwoman Amy.
And she's listening right now,
I'm
too.
sure she is.
She's a Lockpodder. So.
But, Winfield's a very nice community, suburban.
Yes.
And you don't expect...
We want to start off saying how nice Winfield is.
It really is. I mean,
super nice community.
Gorgeous, right?
Beautiful bedroom community.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which makes this even crazier, right?
So let's get into why this is such
when
a
I read
good
this
story.
byline, I was like, wait, this was in Winfield?
Wait, I got to put this on the show first off.
So this is great. There is a gentleman claiming to own a Winfield home under divine law.
I didn't study divine law.
I did not.
Is there a bar
was not
for
a
that?
divinity legal class for me.
The priesthood is the one who...
That's canon law.
Yeah.
Divine. This
law.
is even bigger than that. This is higher.
This is papal law.
This is higher. This is higher than that. It's
this
divine.
goes past the Pope.
It is divine.
Yeah, it's bigger than us.
They found this fella squatting. It was a house that was for sale, and then what happened was like a realtor or somebody went to the house, and the guy answered the house and said, "This house isn't effing for sale." After he answered the door. So police show up, right? And he began shouting that he didn't consent to the officer's authority, stating he was a quote unquote free living man. Under divine law, man.
This sounds like a sovereign citizen to me.
Start doing that. I'm going to start saying that. I'm a free living man.
Oh, yeah, I'm a free living man.
According to divine
law, baby.
I like his argument so far.
But if you're going to get a gift of a home from a deity, all due respect to the town of Winfield, I'm going to take it like on the ocean someplace, right? If the Lord is going to give you a house...
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to give you a house in the world. You're like, wonderful, where? And he's like, Winfield, Indiana. And you're like, where the fuck? What? Like,
hey, man, you got to go
where the
San
Diego?
You got to go where the Lord tells you.
I know.
The Lord guides
Winfield,
you to...
right.
So according to police, Malone resisted arrest multiple times and had to be tased thrice.
Damn.
Before
That's
being
a lot of
fully
electricity.
Well, I mean, the guy's got divine law on his side. Let's remember that.
I was wondering why my power went out the other day.
However, the taser did have some interesting effect on him because at one point during the struggle, he reportedly shouted, quote, "I'm a free living man and I just shitted myself."
Oh, Jesus.
Is that a quote?
That is a quote
quote.
from the
is that our
affidavit.
show title today?
No way.
No, I don't.
I've already got the show title.
I'm a free living man and I just shitted myself.
And he said,
season 15 episode.
Past tense.
This is also kind of crazy. So
I thought the past tense of shit was shat.
Well,
shitted.
Don't take issue with the man that operates under divine law. And he's a free man.
He's bigger than us.
He's a free living man.
He's inventing his own grammar.
Of course, he's a free living man under divine law. This is kind of fun too. While securing the home, officers found a duffel bag which contained 5 loaded firearms, including ghost guns, an AR style pistol, a box containing 457 grams of marijuana. That's a lot. Which field tested positive for THC.
It'll keep you busy for a couple.
Convicted felon from a 2014 burglary in Boone County. And he's prohibited from possessing firearms. So
he doesn't look like he's wasted in this picture. This mugshot, he looks sober.
Well, I don't know, man. He looks crazy. Those are crazy.
He just
eyes.
shitted himself, obviously.
He
in this
did.
Picture, right?
So maybe that's why he looks so surprised.
He's like,
oh,
can I take a shower?
Oh no. So this gentleman is
they hose you off
in
while you
police
go
custody.
I think they should take your
prison?
Picture before the hose down.
Oh, maybe
he's like,
I think they do.
I don't know.
I think they do.
So I thought this was kind of a fun story where you have a little sympathy for him, but that whole thing about having all these guns,
Yeah, no
ammo
good.
and-
It
That could have been a
that could
much
have been really
worse
bad.
situation.
Very
Yeah.
dangerous. And
Yeah.
ghost
Yes.
guns? I mean,
Yes.
this guy's bad,
What?
dude.
He's
bad.
Yes.
Yes.
and a
bad.
burglary charge.
Yes.
Wow.
So good job by the Winfield and I assume Lake County Sheriff's Department for getting this fella, the divine law free man, out of Winfield and into Lake County Jail.
All right, we're going to bounce into the next segment. This was a 60-minute segment over the weekend. It's about drones in general. Welcome back to Left Center Pod, where we don't just skim headlines, we dig into what actually matters behind them. Today we're talking about something that sounds like a scene out of a Tom Clancy novel, but it's playing right out here over 100 U.S. military bases. In 2024 alone, there were 350 unauthorized drone incursions into U.S. military airspace. That's not a typo, 350, over 100 bases. And in some cases, these drones are flying over secure installations for days, like what happened at Langley Air Force Base, where a whole group of drones hovered over the base for more than 2 weeks last December. Problem? Nobody seems to truly be in charge. House Republicans are now demanding answers, and frankly, it's about time. Crazy, man, right?
It's bizarre. Well, I think what really piqued my interest in this is just all the stuff we hear about in the war in Ukraine, which is basically the first war where drones have been used as a real weapon, not just for like spying or recon or things like that. These are weapons, and you saw them also being used extensively when Israel attacked Iran. The drones are what were used to assassinate and find a lot of these nuclear scientists.
Absolutely.
So this is the future of warfare. I mean, without a doubt.
We've seen what drones are capable of in Ukraine, where both sides have used them not just for surveillance, but for actual combat. Loitering munitions, also called kamikaze drones, have hit strategic targets miles behind enemy lines. It's a perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what I was saying. And I think the fear that I have, and I'm sure most people have, is like, okay, well, when's the street model coming? And like, what about if a street gang gets one of these? Like, okay, instead of a drive-by, I'm just going to send my drone down to the dude I don't like and shoot him up.
That's a scary thing for sure, Kevin, because that's usually how weapons start. They start in war, and then they make their way to the streets. Like, how about this line right here? In the Middle East, Iranian-made Shahed drones have been used in swarms to terrorize Ukrainian civilians and infrastructure. Israel's military used drones in its recent Operation Rising Lion to strike generals and nuclear sites, and Iran responded with a wave of drones on its own.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean,
it's just a matter of time before they're in Hammond, being used to we have the Festival of Lakes coming up.
I'm just saying that AK-47s, AR-15s, these are weapons that used to only be on the battlefield. Now they are being sold at gun stores, right? So like here, it just is a matter of time before this happens. I don't know how the local police and others are going to combat this, but it's scary. I mean, drones are happening.
I saw something
everywhere
recently because this is starting to pop up onto my algorithm about where it was a drone at like a European soccer match, and the drone was flying over the stadium, and they had some it had to be some type of jammer. It looked like a futuristic laser gun, and they pointed at it, and it just brings the drone right out of the sky, and they land it on the field, and then they smash it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just going to be, and John, maybe this is a good question for somebody like you that just knows so much about IT, but I mean, like, it almost makes me feel like you're going to have like these no drone like force fields up around places.
Something like that, like a jammer, right?
Yeah, well, think about like what travels with the president. I mean, one of those cars is a drone jamming technology, stuff like that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It has to be, like you said. Like I was recently, science fiction shows you the future sometimes, and it was a presidential type of situation in the future where the president's out enjoying time on the beach with his family, and all of a sudden, swarm of drones goes up in the air and just starts coming at him and his Secret Service agent sitting there, and they're like trying to run away from these attack drones that are coming at him. No, granted, that's science fiction, it's Hollywood, but like,
yeah, I think that's a movie coming out.
Yes,
yeah,
but like, is that really that far away? That's the question. Is that like Festival of Lakes 5 years from now? Are we going to have some type of force field around the Festival of Lakes?
I hope not, but I think
like, is that even that's I know you're bouncing, but like, it seems like that's not even far away, Kevin.
I hope not, right? I mean, I hope that we don't have to do that. I'm just curious, John, like, do you know the difference? Because I think of a drone, like even the ones that we see at Festival Lakes now that are like the police drones that are for surveillance, right? Which are important part of the security there. I think, are those the same size as like these weaponized drones, or is the size just so much different?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I bet you that
they got to be so much bigger. The weapon drones.
From what I understand, the drones being used in the field are like thousands of dollars. They're not.
Oh yeah,
but,
tens of thousands.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's not that expensive.
No. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, because the ones that the Hammond Police drone probably cost 20 G's.
Yeah,
and it's super stable. It could get way up in the air. You cannot hear it. That thing could be flying 100 feet over your head and you won't hear it.
That's right. Also, good distance from base. Like
right.
That's another thing, right?
Another
like
one.
Are you?
And when it's low, it automatically returns to. Like it knows the battery's low enough. It has enough battery always to make it back.
I gotta
to the
fly
operator.
back.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know with these weapon drones if they're like huge or
you
they're
would
small.
think if they're carrying a payload,
I would
they have to
think
be
so.
Bigger. Yeah.
Okay, but like I don't think it's that much bigger. But like I bet you faster too. Like when first off, the drones that Ukraine used against Russia, they were on a string so that they could not be jammed. That's another type of weapon that we've talked about recently.
When they went to the airfield.
They were on the fiber
cable,
optic cable, and they could only go a couple kilometers away from their target. So they have to position the drones within like 3 to 5K of the target. And if you can get something parked 3 to 5K away from an airbase, you'll wipe out that whole fucking airbase.
That's why they had to be in those
them.
trucks, is what
That's
you're
right.
saying, right? So they were in the trucks where the wooden
then
crates
they
opened up. And
yes, and they had to convince the semi-driver to park it there. And the semi-driver, they're like, yeah, just drop it here. Another driver's going to pick it up. So the driver's like, okay.
Wow.
And he
What an
stopped,
operation.
and one of them actually filmed it as the drone started flying out of it. He
What
was
an
like,
operation. What an operation. I love that.
How cool that was.
I agree.
I know.
I
It was a
agree.
great operation. But like the
Holy
scary thing is,
cow.
guys, as great as that is, we're like, yeah, great job, Ukraine.
Except when it's against you.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
America's a free country.
Yeah.
There's millions of semis driving around right now. If one of those semis is parked outside of an event, they could freaking launch drones onto your event. And we have no capability to stop them in America.
No, not that we
So-
know of. I'm sure the military does, but not local
Kevin,
police forces.
local police force. I know all of our
No.
capabilities, right? So, like, what's to say that there's not some group right now operating out of a sleeper cell in America that's planning to do something just like this?
Yep.
And America's not ready for it.
No.
We're not ready for it.
No.
You make a good point, Tom. Like I remember, we probably all remember like Columbine. It was just so shocking because it was
Yeah.
like the first school
Correct.
shooting in a long time, and now it's just
Long time,
all
John.
the time.
It was the first school shooting that I remember.
So that, unfortunately, sometime there's going to be the first drone attack.
right, and it's going to just
Shock.
and it's going to
everyone.
shake. It's going to shake the foundations of our country because there's no way to defend against
Well,
this
like
right
you
now.
said-
We will find a defense. We'll jam it. We'll
Yep.
do something
But
where
it'll take time.
you won't be able to fly drones around like
At all.
willy nilly. You probably won't.
No.
Yeah.
And the good thing, I guess, the one thing is there is good regulation in that the skies are different than like the roads, right? Because like it's FAA, whatever. I know bad actors don't care about that, but the thing that's scary, and you said it just a little bit ago, Tom, is that Iran is a big supplier of drones to Russia. So you know that Iran is able to quietly ship parts to these
Yes.
drones to their sleeper cells
Right.
to get them across. I mean, who knows, right?
It
They're
could
not
be in
gonna-
Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, it could be
You
like
have no
just
clue.
shipped in a FedEx package
Right.
somewhere.
And then, like what they did in
They
Russia,
put them together.
think about it. Ukraine got an entire operation into Russia without Russia knowing it. And then they assembled it there, and then they parked the semi outside of the airbase, and it changes war. Now Russia is like, every semi in Russia they're skeptical of
Sure.
because they're like, any one of these semis in our country can annihilate all of our top weapons. Guys, that's coming to our country.
It's
That's
not-
coming to
it's
America.
Not if, it's when, and that's
It's
sad.
absolutely
sad.
coming
Yeah.
to our country. There's no doubt about it. That's scary as hell. And 60 Minutes covered it this weekend. And
I gotta watch that.
You
I
know,
love 60
first
Minutes.
it's 60 Minutes, then it's Lockpod.
Wow, just like that.
Yes, yes.
How about that?
I've been meaning to ask you, Tom. You started this segment with a new tagline, I believe.
What's that?
You were like, "Welcome back to Lockpod, where we don't just something about the headlines, we look past them." What was that? Did you hear that?
Sounds like ChatGPT.
This
Was
segment?
that ChatGPT? Yeah, this segment.
It was probably ChatGPT.
Tom didn't come up
Tom's
with that.
trying out a new tagline.
Yeah.
The ChatGPT wants me to change my ways.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants him to just read everything. Just
I'm getting
read.
a
Where we
little
don't
worried.
just skim the headlines, we dig into what actually matters behind them.
Where did you come up? Is that ChatGPT?
No, man, that's me.
That is not Tom.
That's
Does
fucking
not sound
Tom
like
talk.
anything
That is Tom
writes.
talk.
Okay.
That is Tom talk. When you hear it, you're like, that sounds so much like the mayor. It's like freaky.
You know, I just read an article that people are developing relationships with ChatGPT.
Oh, I already
That's
have
Tom.
I have a
Careful.
full-blown relationship
Okay.
with it.
Tom's got 5 girlfriends on ChatGPT.
They get me too. You guys don't understand.
I love them. Tom's like, they get me so much better than John and Kevin. They don't get me, but you get me.
Careful, Marissa's in chat.
Yes, she knows.
She's happy. She's like,
probably
Tom's
is.
happy.
Yeah.
She's just like, go out there and talk to your computer. All right, let's do some ads. When we
Yes.
come back, we got a good segment on
The Big Beautiful Bill.
The Big Beautiful Bill. So
It's coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah. Kuklakis Law. Are you facing legal challenges? Don't know where to turn? Look no further than Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Kuklakis Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue is, call Kuklakis Law at 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis Law. That's who. Hablamos Español.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into a world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through a maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. And for tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortilla Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
Ooh, that was flat. Do that again.
That was flat.
There we go.
Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
Cantrell and Cantrell Attorneys at Law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Visit John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Thanks to our sponsors.
Including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County. Okay, so...
I want to say thanks real quick to Jay Vez for
please.
this awesome shirt that he bought me.
Oh.
This is Jay Vez present to Tom because I got him a ticket to the Billy Strings. So
Yeah.
this was nice.
You're welcome.
It's
Thank
a
you for the
badass shirt
ticket.
too.
It is nice, John.
It is. Billy Strings is so awesome. So
I
can't
wore
wait.
that
We're going to see him.
We're gonna see him in about a month. Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
John, was there anything else about the shirt?
I wore that to Ryan Adams
The same one?
This one?
Yeah.
You
I got
guys
the same
share
shirt.
You guys share shirts?
We do.
No,
We have to coordinate.
They're two different shirts.
Oh.
They're not the same shirt.
No, we share shirts. Yeah.
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 So, like, on the way out of here, you're just going to take that off
Yeah,
before you go out the
I'm just
door.
gonna
Leave it with John.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in his dry cleaning bag on the way out.
Okay.
That's great.
All right.
That's good.
There you go.
I like that.
There you go. You deserve that.
So there's this thing called the Big Beautiful Bill you may have heard of. It's going to add $3 trillion to the debt over the next decade.
Jeez.
And it's sitting in the Senate right now.
You're gonna pay for it, Lindsay.
Don't worry.
We're checking out.
So we're laughing.
Well, no, but also, like, as a nurse, I'm going to pay for it, too.
You're gonna pay for it.
This is going to hit a lot of old folks
Medicaid patients.
real hard, and it's
Yeah.
going to shut down a lot of, like, rural hospitals. A lot of nurses
Do you have
are
it?
going
I
to lose their
mean,
jobs.
that's a really good point. I never really thought about it.
So-
My daughter works in the healthcare field, and
Yep.
Medicaid is getting hammered under this because rich people need a tax break.
And rich people don't need Medicaid. Go
No,
figure.
rich people don't
No,
need Medicaid.
Retired people who don't have pensions need health insurance
Well, they have
because they have
Medicare.
health issues.
They have Medicare. The question is Medicaid, where
Well,
that
poor
covers a lot of.
people,
That's
yeah.
what we're saying. Doesn't cover doesn't have to worry. Rich people don't have to worry about Medicaid.
No.
But the Big Beautiful Bill, if you look at it from a positive way, a lot of people are saying, oh well, it keeps in place the Trump tax cuts from 2017
Thank
that were
God.
set to expire.
I was freaking stressing about those tax cuts.
which for some I think are a big deal. If you're a billionaire, or even if you're just a millionaire, probably it helps. And I guess there's a philosophy that from the some bankers said, like, well, everyone's worried about the tariffs. This will hopefully keep in place the tax cuts, which means people won't be afraid to spend money because they're not going to have to spend it on taxes. I don't know. That's an interesting logic. But one of the things that people do complain about in the big beautiful bill is that what it's going to add to the debt, the cuts to Medicare or Medicaid, and what Lindsay mentioned is rural hospitals. Actually, Susan Collins, who's a senator from Maine and who's stuck in a huge battle for her reelection in Maine, presented a bill that was going to pull out some of the, reinstate some of the funding for rural hospitals, and it got defeated.
Only in Maine, though, right? I thought she cut a deal that was only good for her state.
No, I think the amendment she tried to put in that was rejected was for everywhere, for rural hospitals. And so what you have going on right now is what's called a vote-a-rama. It started last night in the evening and is still going as of 4:30 this morning. There were 45 amendments that were proposed. Some got passed on a bipartisan manner. A lot were rejected. It's a way to delay the ultimate vote because our dear president has indicated that he wants this bill on his desk by July 4th. But the bill, as it currently sits, because changes came over from the House, means it has to go back to the House for another vote, where there are several Freedom Caucus Republicans that are saying they will not vote for it in its current state. So that's what we've got going up on Capitol Hill. I thought there's a couple of really interesting and fun videos. This is Senator Fetterman from Pennsylvania, who is missing out on a beach party.
Yeah, here we go.
Did you get any clues on the floor about what time this might wrap?
Oh my God! I just want to go home. I've already I've missed our entire trip to the beach. My family's going to be back before we that. So and again, I'm going to vote no. There's no drama. The votes are going to go. In fact, the only interesting votes are going to be on the margin, whether that's Collins.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Oh,
the guy's like,
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Johnson and those, but all the Democrats, we all know how that's going to go. And I don't think it's really helpful to put people here till when some ungodly hour. And again,
thank you, sir.
So, I mean, and it's interesting, right? Because these
he looks
amendments,
like shit, dude. He's a fucking embarrassment.
I like him. I don't mind him. I think you know what I like about him because I think he kind of fits.
He's a fucking U.S. senator.
Well,
dude.
he's not a rubber stamp all the time for the Democratic Party. I like.
He's dressing like he's going on Lockpod, and he's in the U.S. Senate. Dude.
I'm just talking about him, not necessarily how he's dressed.
I don't like him because when I ran for U.S. Senate, the Democratic Party took every goddamn penny
Here we go.
available,
Now we know why.
And
Tom
they gave it to
like
Fetterman,
him.
and the guy's a freaking jagoff, man. He's not even good for the party.
He beat Dr. Oz, which I was happy about.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking to him. We'd be talking to Dr. Oz. I think one of the things about these amendments that are going
talking
through,
about, not to Dr. Oz.
No, I wouldn't be talking to him. One of the things about these amendments, a lot of times what the senators will try to do is put the other party on the spot. Like they'll say, they'll put an amendment up that then gets Republican senators to vote on the record against it.
Right.
Use that against them. Same thing. Republicans do the same thing to Democrats. And we're going to see what happens.
I do appreciate Fetterman is real. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because what he is bringing up is the fact that they're going all night and voting. It is dumb. Because nobody in America is paying attention, which is it's operating. Can you imagine if we passed a budget at 2 a.m, Kevin?
Right.
How fucking shady that would look.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would be like, why are you doing a budget at 2 a.m? We're like, oh, it's so complicated. We have to do it at 2 a.m. It's like, no, we don't want you to see it. That's why we're doing it at 2
If you watch some of this, right, they were there till 4:30 this morning. Some of them were playing solitaire. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying, what do you do? Tom Tillis who isn't going to run now, right, but he may vote against the big, beautiful bill. But he's over there playing with his grandkids on some Skype. It's like these guys are just sitting around.
I'd be playing a lot of chess.
Yeah, you'd be playing chess. I think another thing that if you're supporting this bill, they're pointing to is infuse more money into the Pentagon and border security agencies. Of course, that was going to happen with the bipartisan bill a couple years ago, but Trump blocked it. And also downsizing government safety net programs like Medicaid. So I think it's interesting. We're going to see what happens. There's a couple more.
It's a whole philosophy, Kevin.
It is a philosophy.
It's they're changing. Basically, if you had any reliance on the federal government at all, I mean, even if if you're over there on Social Security and you think you're exempt from this, you're not paying attention right now because what Trump is doing to poor people, let's be honest, and to hospitals that serve poor people, is removing their safety net, and they're they're going to stumble because there's no safety net there. There's going to be people that Lindsay's taking care of right now that in a year from now, they're not going to be able to afford that hospital anymore, and they're going to have to go live with their family
And
because
by the way,
they're on Medicaid.
These aren't people that have big voices,
No.
right? These are people that are lost in the shuffle, and that's part of the problem. And that's why a lot of the people that are talking about, even including, I give Tom Tillis a lot of credit because he went on the floor and basically said, fine, you're going to come after me. I'm not even going to run next year. I'm
Then
done.
why wouldn't he run, though?
And, well, I don't know. I guess he's vulnerable
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
just like, it's just Trump is that powerful in the party.
Yeah, he
that
doesn't want to deal with it. But, like, I give him credit for going on the
Right.
floor and saying...
Because you're going to have to defend your name.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like...
It's like, I've
you
done
know,
this too long.
Tillis took money. Tillis
Right.
is corrupt.
Right.
Tillis's wife does this. You know, you're going to be hearing that, and it's going to be billions of dollars
It's like,
poured into it.
I don't
Right.
care. He's like, I'm
It's
done.
like, yeah, I'm going to ruin my
I'm
family.
going to go hang out with my grandkids.
Because of fucking orange temper tantrum throwing president.
And he got on the floor and he said, what am I supposed to tell 660,000 North Carolinians when they lose their Medicaid? What am I supposed to tell them? That I thought it was a great idea that we did the Trump tax cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the other thing I thought was interesting is there's another fight between Elon and Trump going on over this.
Mm-hmm.
You have that tweet, John, from Elon. We're going to put that on real quick here. Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should be hanging their head in shame, and they will get a primary next year if it's the last thing I do on this earth.
They will lose their primary.
They'll lose their primary. Yeah, John. I mean, I know you as a fiscal conservative. Like, how do you feel about this bill, and how do you feel about Elon's comment?
I think it's a joke. I think Rand Paul, Tillis, Massey, they're all right. This is a joke. How can you be a Republican and say we have to vote for this? I completely agree with what Elon's saying here.
And then Trump...
and I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yeah,
I just want to add one more thing.
Yep.
I think the big problem with this big, beautiful bill is that it's a big bill. Why aren't these things being voted? Why package all this together? Medicaid cuts, tax cuts. Why?
Because it's all important to like an individual member. There's things that are important.
Throw it
to
all
each-
in.
Right.
I mean,
Because,
Democrats did the
that's
same
how
thing
they
when
get
they're
it
in
done.
power. Yeah.
Okay, if I was in Congress right now and I was like holding out, they'd be like, "What does it take to get you on the bill?" I'm like, I would like to have a brand new nuclear power plant in Northwest Indiana to help with the data center energy shortage. And they're like, we'll do a study that's a $50 million study on a nuclear power plant in Northern Indiana if you vote for this. I'm like, cool. They put that in. I'm on the bill, right? Yep. All of a sudden, you do that 435 times or whatever, 250 times, whatever, and you got a fucking 50,000 page bill.
And one of the things that if you believe the president, what he's saying is one of the things that Elon's pissed about is the EV mandate, right? And so they pulled that out, right? And so here is Trump this morning. Tom, you want to read that? Because I've got the mic.
Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. This is Trump. Electric cars are fine, but not everybody should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Well, as long as we're talking about this, speaking to reporters outside the White House on Tuesday, that's today, Trump was asked if he'll deport the South African-born billionaire who is a naturalized U.S. citizen and said, I don't know, we'll have to take a look.
There you go.
At deporting Elon Musk.
There you go.
Which we talked about this on LockPod.
Yes, we did.
Elon
with his
Musk's
brother.
citizenship.
He and his
Stick
brother.
with us.
And by the way, after Trump posted this morning, Tesla shares are in the tank.
Well, their CEO is going to get deported.
But I just don't like the narrative. Like, if you don't vote for this, you're not going to have border security.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't subscribe to that. Like, how about you just break these bills apart?
Right.
How about you provide us border security?
How about we vote against this, and then you float a separate bill on border security, and I'll support that, right?
Yes. Like, you're evil if you don't want border security.
If you want border security, you got to support my bullshit.
But that's how they do it. That's how they do it.
I know, it's fucking bullshit.
Because they like put you on the spot. Right. Oh, and if you're in a tough race, or if you don't vote for it,
and
we're going to
come at you. We're going to come at you with freaking billions of dollars and try to take you out.
I mean, the one thing I will say about Elon, at least it would be interesting if he got involved, like let's say like Rand Paul, right? And he votes against the big beautiful bill, and then Trump primaries him, and then Elon goes in and funds Rand Paul and makes sure he's safe.
But then we need a third party, guys. We need a third party. Elon, I mean, we need a third party. We do.
I think he called it the America Party. He's going to start.
I like the moderate party better.
I do too.
Tom's name.
Was there any other videos? That
Trump partying in Mexico.
Oh, this was crazy. You want to finish this? This is
sure.
I was going to finish the show with this. Oh, wait, John, can you put that chart up real quick? I forgot about this.
Yeah.
I did want to at least mention this. So this is a little bar graph chart. If you're watching, if you're not, I'll describe it to you. But we currently have 31 trillion in debt, and this started in. It just goes to show you, blue and red is on the chart. No administration has been able to keep the national debt.
I know
in check.
where.
However, it really started increasing significantly in the late Obama years and the Trump years.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is accurate. I think it's,
it's
like
more.
35 right now. Yeah,
Okay.
this is through
It is
2023.
35, John.
Yeah,
You're right.
So
it's 35 now.
What's another 4
And it's
trillion?
going to go up. It's going to go up to 40 after the big beautiful bill passes. And by the way, it's going to pass. Like, it's so funny. People are asking me like, "What's going on with the big beautiful bill?" And I'm like, I have no fucking clue. You know why? Because I try not to get involved in the day-to-day bullshit of Donald Trump because it's just stressful and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So like, I take a different approach than half of America. I sort of check out. I'll check back in next year when we can beat his fucking ass and get people in there in the Senate and in the House that's going to help us fight this monster. But you can't do nothing right now, guys.
I think one of the things that's amazing to me is I just always remember when Clinton was president, you've got he always talked about a budget surplus.
True story.
And and so.
What's this?
Oh, this is crazy.
I saw this video before. This is Donald Trump dancing
real.
with 3 ladies. This is definitely real, John. I've seen him.
It's like from the 80s.
Some of it looks AI. But
Okay, well, let's do it. Like, so it's just Donald just partying with women. He like grabs this woman. Yeah, he's just like roping on.
Partying, man.
You haven't seen these videos, John? I've
No.
seen these. He looks like a douche, man.
That's
just
the part that
party-
looks AI to me. His face.
Oh.
I agree with you. His face looks weird.
Maybe
right?
this is AI, and the eyebrows look a little like that. Looks like somebody dressed up as Donald Trump. Not Donald.
He looks like he's coked out of his mind, dude.
So this may or may not be real.
Correct.
Just disclaimer.
That's right. We don't know if it was real or not, but it was on the internet, so it has to be real.
He looks like, honestly, I mean, yeah, you never could trust anything anymore. So,
No.
But anyway, why don't we go ahead and start wrapping this up? I want to say thanks.
It's like a fun party.
I know, dude. It's like, I have such a boring life.
He's not. I don't see him dancing like that either. I know how Trump dances, and that's not.
He does the 2 dick stroke dance. That's right.
Oh,
Well, he didn't back in the 80s, right? The double dick stroke.
maybe that was something he developed.
Double dick stroke. It's
That's
a
how
popular-
Dad dances too.
I dance like that now. I got him elected president. You just fucking double dick stroke.
It's the national
I gotta
dance.
work on that. You gotta teach me that move.
Because he gets the arms up in the air. It's called the double
It
dick
used
stroke.
to be
Yeah.
called 2 maracas, but Dad made it a bit
Tom
more
made it
vulgar.
famous.
Yeah.
There you go. So anyway, thanks for listening to Lockpot, everybody.
Another proud day for the McDermott family.
That's right. Thanks, son. Good to see you again, my lovely daughter, Lynn.
Happy to be here.
Season 15, episode 19 is in the books, baby. Jay Vaz, great to see you. We are not going to be on the 4th of July.
That's
no,
right.
Happy 4th.
So
Take
we're off.
note.
We come back in 1 week with Lindsay's shiny face again. 1 week from today.
Look at that.
Thank you, Kevin.
I
Appreciate
got
you.
2 hours of sleepless.
You got it, Mayor.
Another great episode. Appreciate
sir.
you all. Oh, by the way, Deputy Fire Chief, thank you, Dave
Yeah,
Weisz,
it
for
was
coming
great,
in. That
Chief.
was
Thank
a
you.
great way to get it started. Everybody be safe on the 4th of July. If you start the 4th of July holiday with 10 fingers, let's finish the 4th of July holiday with 10
249 years this year.
10 digits. So thanks, everybody. Lockpod's out. See you next week.
Happy 4th.